Hello Wanderers and welcome to ARK Survival Evolved. ARK is a 2017 action-adventure survival video game developed by Studio Wildcard. In the game, players must survive being stranded on an island filled with roaming dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, natural hazards, and hostile human players. Today we'll be playing in single-player mode in order to explore the world a little bit more carefully and thoroughly. The game is played from either a third-person or a first-person perspective, and it's an open world that can be navigated on foot or by riding a prehistoric animal. Players can use firearms and improvised weapons to defend themselves against hostile creatures, with the ability to build bases as defense on the ground. The game has both single-player and multiplayer options. Multiplayer allows the option to form tribes of members in a server. The max number of tribe mates varies from each server. In this mode, all tamed dinosaurs and building structures are usually shared between the members. There is a PvE, or a player versus environment mode, where players cannot fight each other. The game is set in an open world with an environment that has a dynamic day and night cycle. In order to survive, players must establish a base with a fire and weapons. Additional activities such as taming and feeding dinosaurs require more resources. There are currently 176 creatures that populate the world of ARK. In the early versions of the game, nearly all creatures were real dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures. However, as the storyline progressed, mythical creatures such as wyverns, manticores, and phoenixes were added. As expansions were released, completely original creatures such as Carcanos and Velanosaur also made their way into the game, as well as original robotic creatures such as Enforcer and Scout. Players must keep track of various meters such as health, oxygen, stamina, hunger, thirst, and mercy of the world. Should players take damage, their health meter will gradually regenerate if they have consumed the necessary food, or if they collect items that regenerate the health meter at a faster pace. Players can gain experience through harvesting materials, crafting, hunting, or discovering explorers' nodes. Once a player has obtained enough experience, they will gain a level point, which can be spent improving on the player's stats, which include max health, max stamina, max oxygen, max food meter, water, and carry weight, melee damage, movement, and crafting speed. As of June 2020, the maximum player level is 105, and an additional 45 levels to be gained by defeating endgame bosses and 5 acquired by leveling up a chibi, cosmetic pen obtained through an in-game event. Players can build structures all throughout the world. To build a base, players must acquire structure components such as floors, doors, and windows, filled with the resources littered through the world. Structures can be built from various tiers of materials, with better tiers providing more protection, but costing more resources to create. Players start out by receiving thatched structures, then moving on to wood, stone, metal, and finally tech, a futuristic and late-game material. There are also glass structures that can be used to gain a greenhouse effect on plants growing inside. Adobe structures block heat from outside for an ideal temperature in the building. Players can also craft items in the game such as weapons by collecting the resources and technology required for crafting. In addition, players can craft and attach accessories to their weapons such as a scope or flashlight for a pistol or machine gun. One of the primary game mechanics is taming creatures, the majority of which can be tamed by the player. Taming methods varies from creature to creature, most being violent tames, meaning the player must knock the creature out by using tranquilizing projectiles or blunt weapons such as a club. Oftentimes, players will need to keep the dinosaur sedated for the duration of the tame. Some dinosaurs take longer than others to tame, therefore require more narcotics. Players are able to use narcoberries or craft narcotics from narcoberries and spoiled meat. Once knocked out, the player must feed the creature their preferred food, such as berries for herbivores or raw meat for carnivores. Different foods help tame animals at varying speeds. Most creatures tame most effectively and quickest with a food called kibble, which is an item crafted using eggs from another creature. Some creatures can also be tamed passively by approaching them and carefully giving them food. Once a creature is tamed, it will follow the commands of the player. Most creatures can also be ridden and therefore allow the player to utilize the creature's abilities such as flight or fast underwater movement. When riding atop certain creatures, players may still be able to use their weapons. These pets can also be used to carry items, and players can issue offensive and defensive commands to them. Some of the larger creatures, such as Brontosaurus or Mosasaurus, can be used for building platforms that were placed on their backs, giving players a mobile, though small, base. That's so cool, a little tiny house. The game also features various other animals, such as the dodo, saber-toothed tiger, woolly mammoth, Meganeura, Titanomyrna, and Dodicurius. Please forgive my pronunciation on any of those. Every creature in the game has living ecosystems and predator hierarchies. ARK Evolved is a massively popular game, and it's not hard to see why. I gave it a little try a while back, but this time around I've definitely gotten more of the hang of it. And even though I definitely got eaten by a raptor a few times, I think that if you give it enough time and you really grind into it, you could really enjoy it as well. For this Let's Play, we're probably going to be focusing on setting up some bases, getting through all the levels of what we can craft, and just making this a pretty well-rounded character. I really do enjoy having the single player world, but I think that it would really be nice if they could add some human NPCs into this game just so that it could make it a little bit more immersive. I tried the mod Simple Humans on the computer version, and it was really cool. You could really add a lot of stuff, and similar to Skyrim and Fallout. So that's definitely something that the developers should think about adding to the single player mode, because not everybody likes to play in the PvP or PvE environment, and this definitely has less lag, I can guarantee that. Even on my PC, it was kind of laggy when you tried to play on the servers, so I think it's nice to just make your own one. And if you don't know how to do it, I'll include at the end of this video the menu, the root menu, so that you can get to how to host your own private single player server. So I thought we could start off by building a little tiny house and setting it up with some inventory, and then going hunting and gathering some supplies. Of course, you have to be careful when you're building like this out in the open, because I definitely got my butt bit by some dinosaurs a couple of times. So it seems we're looking pretty good. I have to admit I had a lot of fun playing this and I really didn't want to stop. It's a slightly longer video. But it's okay, we'll make a whole series out of it and we'll have fun with it for sure. I think that what I would like to do with this character is really sort of level her up as a survivalist and have her tame a bunch of different animals and then have her have a little farm type situation going on. So we're going to get some dodos going at first, and I think that's going to be a really nice way to sort of level up our taming abilities, and just, yeah, make it a little bit of a role play as well, which I always enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of ARK Survival Evolved in single player mode. I really hope you enjoyed this storyline, and we'll definitely be continuing it in further episodes, so make sure you subscribe, stay tuned, leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed the content, and until the next one, friends, stay safe and happy wanderings!